Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a reading vlog together. I am going to do the challenge of trying to read an entire book in one day. We'll see how this goes. I'm getting a bit of a late start today. It is like 11:30 right now, so we'll see if I can actually make this happen. Yesterday on my TikTok, I put up an option of 4 different books that I was going to be reading from, and I put up a vote to see which one people wanted to see the most. So it was a really close vote. I went to sleep with it being completely tied between two, and the tie was broken but just by 2 votes by the morning. So the tie was between Ruth Ware's The Woman in Suite 11, which is a book I'm so excited for. If you don't know my reading journey, I was like a very passive reader. I read a couple books per year until I read The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware, and then I was shook. I was like, books can be this good, this is insane. And I started reading at an insane level, and now I read a couple hundred books every year, and I just absolutely love thrillers. This book is really special to me. I'm very excited for it. This is an arc that comes out on the 8th of July. And then my other option that was almost tied, this was like a really close call, was Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm honestly surprised. I thought this one was gonna win because this one's like such an anticipated release for so many people, but surprisingly I feel like people pick this one because they know I love Ruth Ware, but this one was a very close second. So I do plan to do like a reading vlog with this one probably in the next week or two because I am very excited for this one too. And then the other 2 options, this was 3rd place. This one's called The Bachelorette Party. This looks like a really fun thriller, and this was the shortest option, so there were a number of votes for this one, I think, just because people thought I had the most success with this one. This one's under 300 pages, whereas this one's almost 400 pages, and this one is like 350. So this one had a number of votes, and then the Safari had a couple votes, mostly because this one comes out very soon, so some people were looking for a review of this one before it comes out. But today we are going to stick with Ruth Ware's The Woman in Suite 11. Now, I'm going into this book completely blind. I went into The Woman in Cabin 10 completely blind, and I like doing that with most Ruth Ware books because her books are so twisty and fun and just absolutely wild and unhinged, and I love them for that. So I thought I'd do that again with this book, and again, I don't know what I'm in for. 400 pages is pretty thick for a thriller, but I am so excited, so let's get into it. I will update you guys as I read with my thoughts, and this will be spoiler free, so if you don't want spoilers, no worries. I'm not going to go into any in this video. Okay, time for a quick reading update. I got to like the 70-page mark, and I am so tempted to read Cabin 10 again, to the point that I think I'm actually going to. So I think I'm going to shift this challenge just a little bit and make this a 48-hour challenge, like a 2-day challenge, where I try to read this entire book and The Woman in Cabin 10 again, because I did not realize how connected these books were. Like, I knew it was going to follow the main character from Cabin 10, Lo, but I didn't know it was going to also have like all the other characters that I loved and learned about from the other book too. So it's been so fun to meet them again in this book, but like I want to have them fresh in my memory, and they're not. Now, I've read Cabin 10 like 3 times, so this isn't like an issue where I don't know these characters, but it's been, again, a year since I read it, and I've read Cabin 10 like once a year for the past 3 years. So it is like time for a reread, and so I'm thinking that would be a fun way to include both books in this challenge and to read my favorite book again. And I don't know, it just feels special. I probably should have just read Cabin 10 before I picked this one up, but I was too confident in my ability to just go straight into this. And again, I thought it was just going to follow Lo. I didn't know the premise at all. I went in blind, and without spoilers, this is just like the first chapter of the book. We follow Lo. It's been like a decade since Cabin 10. She now lives in New York with her husband, Jonah. She has 2 little boys, and she's trying to get back into working. She does like travel journalism way back when, but she hasn't done it in many years. And she gets this opportunity to go attend the grand opening of this gorgeous hotel in Switzerland. And she decides to take it because, again, she's trying to get her career back on track. She thinks this might be a good way to do that. And so when she gets there, what she doesn't expect is to see people that she was with on the boat in Cabin 10. Now, if you haven't read Cabin 10, it was a very small cruise ship. This wasn't like an industrial sized cruise ship. This was like 10 to 15 guests total. So to see so many of those same people here is really weird for her. And she also was kind of weirded out that she got invited in the first place because she's been, again, out of this travel scene for a long time. So it's kind of weird to her to be included in this, let alone to show up and see the people that she thought she'd never see again. And in the meantime, in that decade, she did write a very popular book about her experience on Cabin 10, because if you haven't read it, she was in a very near-death experience. Crazy stuff happened. So she wrote a book about it, including all of these characters that she's now seeing again in real life. They've all read the book, so she feels uncomfortable being here. She's alone without like her husband and kids. They're back in New York City still. So I'm having a blast. I want to read Cabin 10 again because I want to have like all these characters fresh on my mind right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause here. I have some housework to get done. I'm going to do the audiobook for Cabin 10. Probably do like a tandem read for part of it and read the physical book too, but that way I'm reading both like simultaneously. I know that might seem weird because chronological order will be messed up, but since I've read Cabin 10 so many times, I don't think it'll be confusing for me. So I think we're gonna shift this, make this a 2-day challenge, reading both of these books, and then I can give you my thoughts on both of them together because I don't know, I'm just having a blast and this is such a fun experience. I feel like it's really uncommon, one, to have the book that got you into reading be from an author that still has so many books coming out and is such a established and amazing author. But number two, to have that book be continued in storyline, like to get another book with Lo is like absolutely insane to me, and I just feel so lucky and blessed to be able to read this in general, but also to have my hands on an early copy of this. Like, this is a pinch me moment and I'm so excited and have an absolute blast. So I'm gonna update you guys later. Again, I am 63 pages in right now, so not too far. I'm gonna pause and do an audiobook, get some housework done. I'm also gonna go read outside soon because it's like 60 degrees and sunny in Michigan here today. It's gorgeous. So I'm loving this. I'm living my best life today. This is seriously such a highlight and I'm having such a blast. So I'm so glad this book was the one that got voted on because this has been such a special day so far. Okay, reading update. I read about a half hour of the audiobook for The Woman in Cabin 10, and then I switched back to The Woman in Suite 11, and I've been reading outside for the last like half hour or so, and I'm officially at the 100-page mark. And again, this is gonna be spoiler free, but like, there was a plot twist and something I did not see coming already that I was so excited for. This is such a fun and wild ride and going in a direction I never could have expected, which is just an absolute blast. I know because I know Ruth Ware's writing by now that I shouldn't be trusting everybody that I think I can trust, so I'm already questioning, like, are all of these returning characters gonna be good people? Like, this twist that just happened, do I believe what is being told to me? It seems like this book is gonna span way past this like luxury hotel she's staying at, and I saw in the back that it says it's gonna be a cat and mouse chase across Europe, which again, I went in blind and I'm glad I did because it's been so much fun, but like, I can't wait to see how crazy this book gets and how far it takes her. Okay, time for a quick update. I just reached the end of part 2. I'm about 165 pages in and still thoroughly enjoying it. I feel like this book is taking me on such a wild ride and I can't wait to see what happens next. I am gonna take a break now though. I'm gonna do some audiobook while getting some housework done, and then also I'm thinking of taking Onyx on a little adventure, in which case I'll keep my audiobook going while we do that. Okay, so you probably just saw some clips. I took Onyx on the adventure that I said we're gonna go on, and like halfway through our walk, we walked like a mile and a half, I noticed a tick on my leg, and so I was really nervous and kept an eye on my legs for the rest of the time. I was wearing shorts, and pretty close to the end of our walk, there's another one on my leg. So I had a feeling it was possible Onyx had some, even though of course he is up to date on his like flea and tick medicine. So I looked him over really briefly before we got in the car, and then when we got home, it was like the first thing I did, and this has been my worst nightmare of an evening. It's been like 3 hours. That's dramatic. It's been a full 2 hours since we got back from that walk, and I've spent that combing through him for ticks, looking over myself for ticks, showering, and then having my husband look us both over when he got home because I found 5 ticks on him, and then my husband found another one on the couch where he was laying afterwards, and then I had 2 on myself as well that were not visible. So this has been horrifying. This is your sign to check your dog over for ticks because apparently they're horrible this year. We were not in a forest, we were in like this big field area. It's at the middle school that's nearby us, and yeah, worst nightmare. So my reading got derailed and I'm gonna spend the rest of the evening just like with my husband because this has been horrifying and I just need to like sit and watch TV. We're gonna get Thai food and ice cream and just like cope because again, I'm being dramatic, I know, but I hate bugs so much and ticks are the worst of the worst. That I have had 4 on myself and to find 5 on him and then 1 on the couch. Like, I think we're good now. My husband just spent so long checking us, so hopefully we're fine, but absolutely horrifying ordeal. So kind of worked out well that I was going to make this into a 2-day situation with 2 books because I do think I will be able to finish both books tomorrow. I have a lot of time on my hands tomorrow and I am 150 pages into my physical book, The Woman in Suite 11, and I think I'm like 3 hours into the audiobook. I was listening during my entire walk. So I've made good progress on both, and again, I have lots of time tomorrow. I won't be going on a walk with Onyx into a field like that, so hopefully nothing crazy happens that derails my day tomorrow. So I'll check back in starting in the morning and we'll hopefully finish up with these books, but I'm loving them both so far so very much. Hello, welcome to day 2. We are picking back up the next day. I had a very slow morning, so it's already like 2 p.m., but I was just reading, spending some quality time with my husband, and again, slept in and just had a nice easy morning. So starting right now, we just made last minute plans with some friends in a couple hours, so we'll see if I can still make this happen. I'm feeling like cautiously optimistic because I'm about to be finished with the audiobook. I listened to a ton of it this morning and while I was getting ready. So I have about 45 minutes left of the audiobook. It's the physical book that's going to be a question mark because I'm just at the halfway point now. So I am at 200 pages and it's just under 400 pages total. So we'll see if I can make that happen. So far, I'm absolutely loving it. The audiobook has been such a blast to revisit, my favorite thriller ever. And then this physical book, the plot is immaculate. I'm loving the direction that she's headed with this story. So far so good. If I have enough time, I absolutely will be finishing this tonight because I'm loving it and I want to. So it's definitely not like a motivation issue, it's just a busy issue. So we'll see. I think I'm still gonna have time even if I stay up late tonight reading it. I do have a very early morning tomorrow headed to Canada, so I probably shouldn't stay up late, but my goal is going to be to finish this regardless. So we'll see if I can make that happen. And also, I can't really talk about the plot without giving spoilers, but I just will say, that I... Do you want that toy? Here you go, Bugs. Is that the right one? Do you want to go outside? Go ahead. Okay. What a silly guy. He's been so dramatic today. We had such a big day yesterday with that whole field situation, and we had gone on a walk earlier and played together, played frisbee, and today has been a little bit boring for him because again, we've just been chilling. I am going to take him probably on a walk later, but I'm scared to do that because of ticks, but I feel like just around the neighborhood should hopefully be fine. But if I chicken out, I'll just play with him like in the basement with some toys, but he will get some playtime, don't worry. But anyways, what I was saying was that I love Ruth Ware for writing this. Like, I would read literally anything that is set in this specific Ruth Ware book. Like, give me all of the books about Lo. Like, I don't care how many time jumps we do. I don't care what characters are involved other than Lo. I would read anything about Lo Blacklock. Like, this book is so much fun. Okay, I'm back after honestly way too long to finally wrap up this reading vlog. I did finish reading The Woman in Suite 11 way later than I planned to just because of the move, but I'm obsessed with this book. If you read and enjoyed The Woman in Cabin 10, then I honestly think this is a must read. I thought that she did this so well. The time jump, with it being like 10 years, I was a little bit nervous, but I think she did amazing with it. I thought it was incredible that a lot of the characters that you learn to love and hate in book 1 did come back around for book 2, and the twist kept me so on my toes. There was a point towards the end of the book that I told my husband that I was thinking 5 stars throughout the whole book, and then there was something that I thought was the case, and I was like, maybe it's going to be just a little bit lower, and then my jaw was on the floor. The way that she did that final twist, or the final few twists, honestly, like, I did not see them coming at all. And not to mention, I won't give any spoilers, but the last sentence in this book just made my heart so happy. As somebody who's probably the biggest fan of this book, I don't know many people who read thrillers more than once, let alone the like 4 times I've read it, but I love this book. I love everything about it, but the ending of this book has a lot of people confused. I think it took me like the second read through to fully wrap my head around what was happening with like that last sentence. I think it was the very last sentence in particular. It might have just been one of the last sentences, but it's what sticks out to you as like the last thing that this book leaves you with, that just leaves you with like a little bit of a question mark. It's not ambiguous. You just have to like kind of mentally process through what it means. And the nod to that in this book was chef's kiss. So definitely recommend, again, if you like this book, if you like Ruth Ware's writing in general, pick this one up when it comes out. It does come out on the 8th of July, so it's coming out very soon, and I'm just so excited for it to come out and to have my finished copy because this book is everything. Huge thank you to Gallery Books for sending me my ARC of this. This is not sponsored in any way, but I'm just so grateful to have been able to get an advance copy of this and to read it in advance because this is such a fun little nod to the beginning of my content creation. I don't know if I talked about this in this video or maybe it was just on TikTok, but this book is the only reason that I started making book videos in general. So to then have this like full circle moment where a few years later, this is like 3 years since I've been posting on Book Talk now, to be getting the arc of the sequel book, like, I just love it. I'm just so thankful and so grateful to be where I'm at. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.